Most people who start dividend investing never end up living off their dividends. Not because the strategy is broken, not because they picked bad stocks, because nobody was honest with them about how long this actually takes and how brutal the middle part feels. I'm going to be that honest voice today. And by the end of this video, you're either going to walk away with a completely different relationship with your portfolio, or you're going to realize dividend investing isn't actually your strategy. Either way, you'll know the truth. My name is Ian, and I've spent way too much time watching people chase the dividend dream and then get crushed by reality because they didn't understand what they were actually building toward or how long it actually takes. I've helped people understand how their money works, how dividends work, and most importantly, why the version they have in their head is probably never going to play out the way they think. Before we get into it, drop a comment right now and tell me where you're at. Are you just getting started or have you already been investing for a while? The good news is that dividend investing isn't broken. The strategy works. It's actually powerful. But the way most people go about it is completely wrong, and I'm going to show you exactly where things fall apart. Today, I'm going to show you why you'll never live on dividends the way most people imagine, and then I'm going to show you what actually works if you're willing to shift your thinking slightly. The dividend fantasy goes something like this. You've got, say, $500,000 invested. It pays 4% in dividends. That's $20,000 a year. If you live lean, maybe that covers your expenses. You're done working. But here's what people don't think about when they're dreaming about this. In order to get to $500,000, you had to sacrifice. You had to cut spending. You had to be disciplined. You had to invest month after month for years and years, sometimes decades. And the brutal part that nobody mentions is that the discipline doesn't end when you finally hit that number. It actually gets worse. Because now you're not allowed to touch the principal. You're not allowed to let yourself get comfortable. You're living on this razor's edge where one expensive year, one medical emergency, one life event that costs more than expected, and you're forced to sell shares. And the moment you start selling shares, the dividend machine gets smaller. The income gets smaller. And you're on a downward spiral that never ends. That's the part they don't show in the Instagram posts. They show the fantasy. They show the number. They don't show the psychological trap of having money, but not being able to spend it, having resources but living in constant fear of touching them. Let me give you some real math so you actually understand what you'd need. Let's say you want to live on $30,000 a year in dividend income. That's $2,500 a month. Assuming a 4% dividend yield, which is actually pretty generous, you'd need $750,000 invested. Not in growth stocks, not in crypto, in boring dividend-paying companies. $750,000. Now, how long does it actually take to get there? Let's say you're 30 years old right now and you can invest $1,000 a month. Let's say you're getting about 7% return on average each year, which is realistic for a diversified stock portfolio. You know how long it takes to get to $750,000? About 23 years. You'll be 53. You gave up your entire 30s and 40s for that. And that assumes you never miss a month. That assumes you never take the money out. That assumes the market cooperates and you don't hit a major recession right as you're building. And even then, when you finally get there, you're living on exactly $2,500 a month. You can't upgrade your lifestyle. You can't take that vacation. You can't help your kids with their education. Because every dollar you spend that isn't coming from dividends is a dollar that's shrinking the machine. That's why people give up on the dividend strategy. They get halfway there and they realize, wait, I've been at this for 10 years. I'm 40 years old. I've got $200,000 invested. I'm earning maybe $8,000 a year in dividends and I'm still living on a normal income. I'm still going to work every single day. And the finish line is another decade away at least. And they quit. They figure, what's the point? And they either start spending the dividends instead of reinvesting them, which completely kills the compounding, or they just walk away from the whole thing and go back to normal financial life. The dream dies not because the strategy doesn't work, but because people don't understand how long it actually takes and how much mental toughness it requires. The fantasy is that you get to stop working. The reality is that you've got to completely change your life for a decade or more. Live below your means, invest obsessively, and trust the process. And most people's willpower doesn't last that long. Here's another thing that kills the dividend strategy for most people. They pick the wrong stocks or the wrong funds. They see a yield that looks too good to be true because, well, it usually is. A company paying 8 or 10% in dividends might look amazing on paper, but stop and ask yourself, why is that yield so high? Sometimes it's because the stock price collapsed. Sometimes it's because the market knows the dividend is unsustainable. Sometimes it's because the company is desperately trying to attract investors, even though the business is falling apart. And then what happens? The dividend gets cut, the company slashes its payout, and suddenly your income stream drops 30 or 40% overnight. You weren't expecting that. You thought you were building stable income. Instead, you got blindsided by dividend cuts, and now you're even further from your goal. This is why quality matters so much more than yield. People chase the highest yields like they're chasing lottery tickets. They think if I can just find the right 10% yielding stock, I can get there faster. And instead, they find the fastest way to destroy their compounding engine. The people who actually succeed at dividend investing do something completely different from what most people imagine. They don't try to live on dividends. Not immediately. Not even after 10 years. They treat dividends as fuel for the machine, not as income to spend. Here's how it actually works. You invest, you earn dividends. But instead of spending those dividends or even letting them sit in cash, you automatically reinvest them. You use that dividend money to buy more shares. And those new shares generate their own dividends. And you reinvest those too. You're not building a portfolio that pays you. You're building a portfolio that builds itself. That's the difference. That's why people who understand this game talk about compounding like it's magic. It's not magic. It's mechanical. It's automatic. It's a system that works whether you're paying attention or not. Let me show you what this actually looks like over time with real numbers. Let's say you're Sarah. You're 28 years old. You've got $10,000 to start, and you can invest $400 a month. You put it all into dividend-paying stocks or funds that yield about 4%, and you automatically reinvest those dividends. Don't spend the dividends. Don't let them sit in cash. Set it to automatic and forget about it. Year one, you've put in roughly $14,800 total. You're earning maybe $600 in dividends for the year, all of which gets reinvested into more shares. That's boring. That feels pointless. That's year one. Year two, same contributions, but now your base is bigger, so your dividends are bigger. Maybe you earn $700 total and reinvest it. Year three, bigger still. Maybe $850. By year five, you're not just contributing $400 a month anymore. The dividends reinvesting are effectively adding another $150 or $200 a month of new purchases automatically. You didn't do anything different. The machine just got bigger. By year 10, you've put in about $58,000 of your own money, but your portfolio might be around $85,000 because compounding has been working in the background. The difference between what you put in and what you have is pure market growth plus reinvestment. And here's what matters at this point. Your annual dividend income is now around $3,400. That's not life-changing money, but it's real. Money. It's automatic money. It's money that shows up whether the market is up or down, whether you feel motivated or not. That's the power of just letting it run. By year 15, with continued contributions of $400 a month, your portfolio might be close to $130,000 or $140,000. Your annual dividends might be around $5,000 or $6,000. That's $400 or $500 a month arriving automatically into your account without you lifting a finger. No job is paying you this. Your portfolio is. By year 20, you're looking at a portfolio somewhere around $200,000. Annual dividends may be $8,000 or $9,000. That's $700 or $750 a month that the market is just handing you. Still not enough to live on by itself, but it's serious income. It's a second job that requires 0 hours of work, and it keeps growing. This is where everything clicks. The goal was never to live on dividends in year 5 or year 10. The goal was to build a machine that generates income automatically. And once you hit a certain point, maybe year 20 or year 25, suddenly the dividends become substantial enough that you've got real options. Maybe you don't retire completely. Maybe you drop to part-time work. Maybe you switch to a job you actually like instead of the one that pays the most. The dividend income doesn't replace your job. It takes the pressure off. It gives you flexibility. And then if you keep the system going for another 5 or 10 years, maybe at some point it does become substantial enough that you truly could live on it. But that point is probably 30 years in, not 3 years in. That's why the fantasy falls apart so fast. Most people have a 5 or 10 year timeline in their head. Real compound dividend growth needs a 20 or 30-year timeline to become truly impressive. There's also something that completely changes when you accept the long timeline. You stop obsessing over finding the perfect stock. You stop trying to time the market perfectly. You stop thinking you need to find some secret dividend growth stock that nobody else knows about. Instead, you just focus on showing up. You find boring, reliable dividend payers. You invest the same amount every month. You reinvest automatically. You don't touch it. That's the whole system. And because it's boring and consistent and doesn't require any special knowledge, almost anybody can do it. You don't need to be smart. You don't need special connections. You don't need to be lucky. You just need to be consistent. And consistency over time beats intelligence over a short period every single time. The hardest part about this, and I mean this genuinely, is the mental side. It's brutal in ways that most people don't see coming. You're going to invest $400 a month and feel like you're giving things up, cutting back on stuff you actually enjoy, making choices that feel uncomfortable. But the money in your account isn't growing as fast as you expected, because you expected it to grow. Like the success stories show it growing. You're going to look at your portfolio after 3 years and think, I've put in $14,000 and I only have $16,000. Where's the growth? I've been doing this for 3 years. This should feel like something by now. And you'll want to quit. You'll feel like you made a mistake. You're going to compare yourself to other people who seem to be getting rich faster through crypto or stock picking or starting a business, and you'll feel like you're doing something wrong. You're not. They're probably going to lose money and crash, some of them spectacularly. You're quietly building something that actually compounds, that actually works, that actually shows up year after year. But it doesn't feel impressive in the moment. It feels slow. It feels boring. It feels like you're wasting time when you could be doing something more exciting. And then there's the lifestyle trap. You'll have friends who stop saving early. They'll upgrade their lifestyle, they'll buy nicer cars, they'll take better vacations, they'll live in bigger houses, and you'll still be driving the same car, living in the same apartment, cooking at home while they're out at restaurants. And you'll feel like you're falling behind, even though you're the only one actually building wealth. That feeling is what destroys most people's ability to stick with dividend investing. Because honestly, the early years are rough. You're not feeling rich. You're not seeing dramatic results. You're just quietly making sacrifices while the world around you seems to be living better. That's the real challenge, not the math. The math is easy. The mental side is hard. But here's what keeps people going. There's a moment, usually somewhere around year 10 or year 12, where you realize something. Your portfolio has momentum. The dividends are real now. You're not just imagining this. Money is actually flowing in automatically. And even though you're still not able to live on it entirely, you can feel the machine working. You can see where it's headed. You know what this becomes. And suddenly the sacrifices don't feel pointless anymore. They feel like moves. They feel like you're actually building something. And that's when staying disciplined stops being a fight. You're not white-knuckling it anymore. The system is working for you and you can feel it. If you're going to do this, and I think more people should because the alternative is working forever, there are a few things you absolutely have to get right. First, pick quality. Don't chase yield. Pick companies or funds that have been paying dividends for a long time, through recessions, through crashes, through all kinds of rough markets. Coca-Cola, Procter& Gamble, Johnson& Johnson, they're boring companies. They sell boring products. People are going to keep buying toothpaste and soda and medicine no matter what the economy is doing. That stability is worth way more than an extra percentage point of yield from some shaky company. Second, reinvest automatically. This is non-negotiable. The moment you let dividends sit in cash or you spend them, you've broken the compounding cycle. The whole strategy depends on automatic reinvestment. It's boring and invisible, but it's everything. Third, invest consistently. The dollar amounts matter less than the consistency. Whether you're putting in $200 a month or $2,000 a month, the principle is the same. Show up every month. Make the contribution. Don't skip. Don't wait for perfect conditions. They never come. Fourth, have a long timeline and actually accept it. You're not going to retire on dividends in 5 years. You might not retire on dividends in 15 years. But in 25 or 30 years, you'll have built something real. Only start this if you can actually commit to that timeline. If you need the money in 10 years, this isn't your strategy. Find something else. The dividend path isn't flashy. It won't give you stories to tell your friends about getting rich quick or finding some amazing investment. It won't make you feel smart or special, but it will make you wealthy over time. It will give you options. It will take the edge off the constant stress of wondering if you'll ever have enough. And if you actually stick with it, it might actually give you the financial freedom you're chasing. Just not on the timeline you thought, not in the way you imagined, but real. So if you're thinking about building a dividend portfolio, understand what you're actually building. You're not building retirement, you're building a machine. A machine that takes $400 of your money and turns it into $450 worth of income-producing assets, which then generates more income, which then buys more assets. Over time, that machine gets bigger and bigger until one day, years later, you wake up and realize you've got options that most people never get. That's not the story they sell you. That's the actual story. And if you can live with that, if you can accept the long timeline and the mental grind and the boring consistency required, then this actually works. And nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can fire you from a dividend machine. If you found this helpful and you want to understand how to actually generate passive income through dividend investing, instead of how social media wants you to think it works, hit that subscribe button, because we're going to keep breaking down the real numbers behind financial independence. Share this with someone who thinks they're going to get rich on dividends in 3 years. Maybe they need to hear the actual timeline. I'll see you in the next one.